Yeah, beat your addiction, live free. Ralf Friedrichs is who you see. Listen in when you're feeling low. Take back your life, today's show. Beat your addiction, live free. Ralf Friedrichs is who you see. Listen in when you're feeling low. Take back your life, today's show. Stay positive, hope, and keep faith. Stand strong against any odds that you face. Put away the alcohol and the drugs. Fill your time with the things you love. Addiction is tough, but it's worth the work. Treat your body what it's worth. Spread positivity, inspire all. If we stand together, we will never fall. I help others see the other sides to life. A sober life, letting go of the strife. So give me a call, I can help. 1-844-4405-HELP. Homeless shelters, hospitals, jails, wherever you are. I am Ralf Friedrichs and I am here for you. 1-844-405-HELP. Yeah, change your future, starts today. Live life to the fullest, never skip a day. Create hope, spread positivity. Beat your addictions and negativity. Ralf Friedrichs is here for you. Call today so we can help you. 1-844-405-HELP. 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 We are here for you. Call us today.
Good morning and welcome to Take Your Life Back Today show with me, Ralf Friedrichs. Today I'm going to give you folks 9 reasons why people use drugs and alcohol. What are some of the reasons? Today, here on the Take Your Life Back Today show, we shall discuss 9 reasons. First, I just want to do like I have been doing for the last few shows. My name is Ralf Friedrichs. I am an addiction recovery coach and the host of this show called Take Your Life Back Today show with Ralf Friedrichs. As an addiction recovery coach, let me share this about substance abuse and let me make it perfectly crystal clear. I want to leave an impact upon all of you. Imagine you're buried alive. Let's say you're in a coffin, but you also know you're not dead. You don't know how to open the coffin and push the enormous weight of the dirt away. You think of giving up, and you just wait for death to arrive. But you also think of banging on the coffin lid so that maybe you will unsettle the ground above. And then maybe, just maybe, someone will notice and start digging the way down to help you. This is what it's like to find yourself at the lowest point of alcohol and or drug addiction. You know you need help. You know you can't do it completely on your own. Yet, you don't know how to get help. In reality, there are people who can help you standing nearby your grave. But you don't know that. You think you're going to die right there in that coffin. Usually, though, people don't think of death when they are habitually using drugs. In order to feed an addiction, you have to be great at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind when you were abusing drugs and alcohol that you might OD? With this, I leave you one other thought. Don't be that person in the coffin banging on the lid for someone to hear you. Do yourselves a favor, call the Take Your Life Back Today show at 844-405-HELP, and I, the host, Ralf Friedrichs, will help you take your life back before your life is gone. Folks, remember, a sober today, I promise you, will give you a better tomorrow. Let's start today with our new lives. Let's give a shout out to Larry Geis from the Geis Academy at 516-485-2741. He is an addiction recovery coach, a life coach. He, like myself, tell you all the time, it doesn't matter where you have been. What does matter is where you are going, folks. Make the phone call to Larry Geis at 516-485-2741. Let Larry Geis help you take your life back. Give a shout out to globaleyeglasses.com, where they are focused on saving you money, folks. Over 1,200 frames. Mixed are men's, ladies, and children's. Full plastic and metal frames, half plastic and metal frames, and no frame at all. Now, as far as the lenses, you have bifocals with a line, whether it's straight line or round line. You have progressives, which are otherwise known as invisible bifocals. You can have plastic lenses, you can have polycarbonate lenses, you can have high index lenses, which makes the lenses thinner. You can have transition lenses, which is when it changes indoor-outdoors, as does photochromatic. You can have polarized lenses or tinted lenses. Polarized enhances the color, tint just shades you from the sun. You can have UV 400 coating. You can have anti-reflecting coating for night driving. Folks, this is all available at a fraction of the cost of a freestanding brick and mortar store within your neighborhood. at globaleyeglasses.com because they are focused on saving you money. You can just place the order by just going to www.globaleyeglasses.com, and if you want, you can utilize me, your host on the Take Your Life Back Today show, as your personal optician. I have over 30 years of optometry experience, and if you call me at 844-405-HELP, or you can text me at 631-599-0218, I'll help you place your order like I've done for hundreds of you folks already in my audience. Go to www.globaleyeglasses.com and let them focus on saving you money. Folks, 9 reasons why people use drugs and alcohol. The reasons why people use drugs and alcohol, a quick overview. This information came directly from the Mayo Clinic. Many people have never experienced addiction of any sort. For these people, it can be very hard to understand and grasp the logic behind drug abuse. But with drug use getting more and more prevalent in America, it's now common for people to dig deeper and look for the reasons why people use drugs and abuse alcohol. This is not meant to be a complete list, nor is it meant to be medical advice by either myself or by the literature I'm reading, but I feel this information can shed some light for addicts or their family members of addicts dealing with the burning question, can someone please explain to me the reasons why people use and abuse alcohol and or drugs? This video has been compiled for this list has been compiled for 13 years of personal experience watching my close family members and friends struggling in their darkest time of addiction. This is what someone wrote at the Mayo Clinic. Many times I asked and prodded to get answers from my sister who was addicted to drugs, she writes. She didn't always have the answers, but she still taught me. The important thing is I learned from my sister that drugs alter the thinking patterns of your brain, which can distort logic and rationality. Therefore, an addict may not fully understand what a sober person can understand. So most of my analysis came from observing her behaviors, she wrote. So here are some of the 9 reasons from the Mayo Clinic of why people abuse, use alcohol and or drugs. Number 1, people suffering from anxiety, bipolar disorder, depression, or other mental illnesses use drugs and alcohol to ease their suffering. Mental illness is such a burden for some people, they will try just about anything to relieve the pain. Drugs and or alcohol can temporarily make that person feel normal again, like they remember feeling in the past. Mental illness is scary for the individual who experiences it, so they are afraid to go to the doctor or a family member for help and instead turn to drugs and or alcohol to try and solve the problem on their own. Number 1 was people suffering from anxiety, bipolar disorder, depression, or other mental illnesses use drugs and alcohol to ease their suffering. Number 2, people see family members, friends, role models, or entertainers using drugs and or alcohol and rationalize that they can also do it because that's what they see other people doing it. As teenagers and young adults, it's very easy to think that drug and alcohol use can be handled and controlled, especially if there are others they know doing the same thing. It can become easy to rationalize, like, hey, my friend's been doing it for a couple years now, and he or she seems fine to me. Entertainment and music is full of drug references and can add to the rationalization that drug use is okay sometimes. Individuals with family history of drug and alcohol abuse are far more likely to develop an addiction than an individual with no family background of the addiction. Number 3, people become bored and think drugs will help. Boredom is a big factor in drug abuse and in teens and young adults. People on the age bracket generally don't have bills, jobs, or other stresses that go along with adulthood. So it's easy to become bored and want to try something new and exciting, so they turn to drugs and or alcohol. Drug use is often thought as a way to escape the mundane world and enter the altered reality. Number 4, people think drugs will help relieve stress. Our modern world is full of new strains and stresses that humans have never experienced in the past. Although many things in life are now easier than ever, the burdens are also much higher. Simply having a family, maintaining a household, and holding a job are huge stress factors. Some drugs are viewed as means of relaxation, a way to calm the storm in your mind. Although drugs can be very effective at doing that, they can be serious side effects and can cause addiction. Number 5, people figure if a drug is prescribed by a doctor, it must be okay to use. Wrong. It is easy for an individual to rationalize using a drug because it came from a doctor. The thinking goes like, this was prescribed to someone I know for the same problem I am having, so it makes it okay and it should work for me. The dangerous part about this rationalization is that it can lead to mixing of drugs, overdose, unintended side effects, and or dependency. Number 6, people get physically injured and unintentionally get hooked to prescribed or on prescribed drugs. The people at risk for this are physical laborers, elderly, and anyone with pre-existing injuries. Some people are born with chronic pain due to deformities, others get injured. Doctors then prescribe drugs for what they are intended for, and a person can quickly build a high tolerance and dependency, especially if the drug is making them feel all better every day. They rationalize that it must be okay to keep taking that drug, which can result in dependency. Number 7, people use drugs to cover painful memories in their past. Many people go through extremely traumatic events in their life, many times as children, and then turn to drugs to cover the horrible memories. Children are extremely susceptible to trauma, whether physically or emotionally, and those feelings can haunt them into their adulthood. These people could benefit from working with psychologists to help repair their damaged minds. Drugs usually only deepen the issue, so it's not an alternative. Number 8, people think drugs will help them fit in. When hanging out with friends, it is easy for people to want to fit in and seem like one of the crew. If others are drinking or doing drugs, it is very likely for someone to fall into that trap. Peer pressure can be a tremendous force, causing someone to try things they normally would not try on their own. Last but not least is number 9. People chase the high they once experienced, otherwise known as being hooked on. Ask anyone who has tried drugs and they will tell you that is one of the best feelings of their life. The highs from the drugs are so much more extreme than the regular everyday joys because most drugs overload the pleasure sensors in your brain. Once a person feels the extreme pleasure, it is common for that person to become hooked on the drug simply by chasing the initial high they once felt in the past. As we all know, this is a vicious cycle that is extremely difficult to break. The highs are equally as powerful as the lows felt when coming off the drugs. These are the 9 reasons why people use drugs and alcohol, folks. Let's do a recap on the 9 reasons. Number 1 was people suffering from anxiety, bipolar disorder, depression, or mental illnesses use drugs and alcohol to ease their suffering. Mental illness is such a burden for some people they will try just about anything to relieve the pain. Number 2, people see family members, friends, role models, or entertainers using drugs and rationalize that it's okay because I see Johnny, my neighbor, doing it, and it seems not to be affecting him, or so why can't I do it? Folks, we all have different tolerances, we all show different side effects, and it kind of goes by the analogy, if you see somebody jumping off the bridge, would you do the same? Number 3, people become bored and think drugs will help. Boredom is a big factor of drug abuse in teens and young adults. People in this age bracket generally don't have bills, jobs, and all the stresses that go along with adulthood. So it's easy to become bored and they want to try something new and exciting. Drug use is often taught as a way to escape the mundane world and then all the reality. Number 4, people think drugs will help relieve stress. Our modern world is full of new strains and stresses that humans have never experienced in the past. Although things are easier with technology, the burdens have become very high. Simply having a family, maintaining a job, maintaining a household, and holding the family together are huge stress factors. Some drugs are viewed as means to relax people, a way to calm the storm in your mind. Although drugs can be very effective in doing just that, they are serious drugs with serious side effects. Number 5, people figure if drug is prescribed by a doctor, it must be okay. Doesn't mean when you look into your medicine cabinet and you see, I don't know, let's use painkillers for an example that were prescribed to your grandmother, that it's okay for you to use it. The doctor prescribed a particular prescription, a particular drug for a particular person, not for everyone to use. Number 6, people get physically injured and unintentionally get hooked to prescribed drugs. The people at risk are the physical laborers, elderly, and anyone with pre-existing injuries. Some people are born with chronic pain due to deformities and get injured. Doctors then prescribe drugs for what they are intended for, and a person can quickly get a dependency built up. Number 7, people use drugs to cover painful memories in their past. Children, maybe physically, mentally, sexually abused. Now they turn to drugs. These people could benefit from working with a psychologist to help repair their damaged mind. Drugs usually only deepen the issue. Number 8, people think drugs will help them fit in. Because you hang out with people that are doing drugs and alcohol does not make you fit in. What it makes you is becoming them. If you truly don't want to do drugs and alcohol, surround yourself with a whole new crowd. Last but not least, again, is number 9. People chase the high once they experience it. Once you have experienced drugs and or alcohol, even people that have been in recovery and sober as long as I have been, and people even longer than me, every once in a while that urge might come through. The thing here is that you have to learn to live in recovery, learn to live a sober life. And what better way to learn is by doing it daily, 24/7 of educating yourself. This is why I totally felt that AA was not great for me, because an hour and a half a day of talking about sobriety and living sobriety with other people was not good enough. I needed to do more. I created 3 websites. I have my own show. I have my own YouTube channel. I'm on 17 different rehab websites. This is my rehab, and I say this all the time, and I'll say it again. 2 people that can get help out of each and every show I do, I am very happy. 1 person is guaranteed. That is me, selfishly. Are you that other person? And if I get more than just the 2 people, it's even better. But just 2 people, and I have accomplished what I have set out to do for today. Folks, please try to remember that a sober today promises you 100% a better tomorrow. If you stay sober from watching this video until you go to bed sober. You wake up sober and start that routine all over again. You'll go past a week, a month, a year, a few years of sobriety to a point where you'll hardly even think about ever touching drugs and alcohol again. And what better way to send a message to yourself about living sober life than by going out and helping other people. There are always people that could use your advice on your experiences as a sober person. Folks, I constantly try to give my advice to people, not advice that I read out of a book, but my advice from my own life of sobriety. I realize there are people out there that might relapse. I had. Before I finally stayed sober for quite some time, I relapsed over and over and over again. The thing is that I didn't have my mind set. I didn't have a goal. I didn't have a plan to reach my goal. Now I have had that. Now I'm successful living life of sobriety. Folks, if you start thinking positive in life, all the positivity around you will be absorbed by you, and you will have positive results. Stay away from the negativity, and you'll have a positive life. Teach your children to say no to drugs and alcohol. Lead by example. You are the hero. You are the role model. Do everything possible to teach them not to drink, not to smoke, and use profanity. Teach them to love, to show respect, show compassion, and all the good things that go with being a good human. Lead by example. Folks, I hope to God, no matter where you are watching me, that you have the best day of your life, but I always hope and I always pray that you all in my audience have a best rest of your life as a sober person. In other words, have a sober rest of your life, and may God bless you.
Yeah, change your future, it starts today. Live life to the fullest, never skip a day. Create hope, spread positivity. Beat your addictions and negativity. Ralf Friedrichs is here for you. Call today so we can help you. 1-844-405-HELP. 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 We are here for you. Call us today. show is over, but your life starts today. Taking back your life's the only way. Keep faith, stay positive, push through. Take back your life, it starts with you. Alcohol and drugs can't control your life. Let go of the negative and the strife. Ralf Friedrichs is the man guiding your way. The show is over, but your life starts today. Call Ralf Friedrichs at 1-844-405-HELP. That's 1-844-405-HELP. We hope you love the show today and tune in next time. Take back your life today show with Ralf Friedrichs.